It is great having Alex Morono back here on the program. He's got a really big fight coming up here against Mickey Gall, UFC Fight Night, December 4th. Alex, how's it going, man?
Good. I actually just got home from a kind of like a holiday training session. You know, I run a gym and we're closed Wednesday, Thursday, Friday for Thanksgiving. But I told my grappling students I needed to get some work in, so I probably had 40 guys show up and grappled for like 90 minutes. It was a fun one.
What are your plans for Thanksgiving this year with the fight being so close? I guess that's the only bummer about where this fight is sort of situated.
You know what? I've been doing this, I don't know, for 15 years now. Like 1 year I was in China on Thanksgiving for a fight. My fight prior to the UFC was December 4th as well, same as this date. You know, it's actually more common for me to be like training hard during Thanksgiving than not. Yeah. So I always like plan with my family to do something whenever my fight is over. So tomorrow I'm gonna do a juice, like a vegetable juice only diet. Not really a fast, but it's kind of like a fun challenge in honor of Thanksgiving. But I'm going to my wife's side of the family, going to my side of the family, have some fun with everyone, and just enjoy some food later.
And making times for interviews, so I really appreciate that. When did you find out about this fight? Because it seemed like you got a decent amount of notice, or at least a full camp at the very least.
Yeah, you know what? I found out about it, I don't know how many weeks ago, maybe like 3 months, 2 months before the actual fight day. And thankfully, I re-signed my 5th contract with the UFC, so
Congrats.
It took a little bit of time to get the contract over. And then I signed the contract, and then I just waited for them to announce the fight, and it took a couple weeks for that. So, you know, they announced it with like 4 weeks time spare, but we've had a full fight camp for it. And honestly, I forgot what it's like to have a full fight camp. Like I'm in very good shape, can push the pace, and like got cardio for days. You know, the last 2 fights I took on short notice, and I was in shape from training for fun, but not in fight shape. I can feel the difference. I understand kind of now the importance of it, and man, I'm excited to go out there and put a pace on him.
Not a ranked opponent, but you must be pretty happy to fight Mickey Gall, who's got like a decent following from his entire career, just some of the matchups that he's had. So, you know, your excitement level in getting this matchup.
Yeah, it was a little surprising. I didn't really have any expectations. I never really do with opponents, and kind of out of the blue, my coach, Coach Safe, you guys know him, love him.
Yep.
Gives me a call. He's like, Morono, we got Mickey Gall in December. And I was like, oh, no way, coach. Like, I was hoping to fight in December. You know, I've wanted to run this fight for a little while. You know, when James Vick fought Dan Hooker, I believe that was the fight, the main event in San Antonio. They had actually offered me the fight against Mickey Gall then. And I was like very happy and enthusiastic. I instantly accepted it. And then I never really heard anything back. And I kind of assume he declined it. They had only asked with like 4 weeks to spare. I don't know if he ever got wind of the matchup. I'm not going to be like, oh, he turned down the fight because I don't know. But it always kind of got me excited for that matchup. And I was like, I was just happy to run it back when they asked me this time. It wasn't a fight that I was like asking for, but it was a fight I was very happy to take. And a lot of people are saying it's a step down in competition. I don't agree with that. And again, you guys kind of know my MO. I'm not looking to climb the rankings and fight for the belt. You know, not in a big rush. I'm down to just fight whoever wants to fight. You know, scrap down in the octagon and get paid. So I'm happy to be doing my job.
Style-wise, how do you look at this fight from a matchup perspective?
This is one of those fights, and I've had fights like this often where I prepare for the worst, I suppose, and hope for the best. I hope he stands and wants to kickbox. I'm preparing for him to wrestle and grapple. And honestly, the more I've been doing it, especially the more I go to Fortis, Coach Safe is like, Morono, I don't know why you don't like to grapple more in your fights. You're a good grappler. Like, use your grappling, out grapple these guys. And I'm like, all right. So I've actually been, you know, using some offensive wrestling and grappling and having a lot of success. And you know what? It was funny. Even one of my training partners, he's like, hey man, I know you want to knock guys out. He's like, you can TKO and knock guys out on the ground as well. It can be done. So don't be so like single focused. So, you know, I'm kind of excited that this fight will probably be on the floor, on the cage, in the clinch, and on the feet. I'm looking forward to that.
And who have been some of your main training partners for this camp as far as bodies in the gym?
So thankfully at Fortis, Jeff Neal is fighting the week after me on the 11th, main card against Santiago Ponzinibbio. And if you look at like my physical attributes and even my style, I'm very similar to Ponzinibbio. So I've been giving Jeff a lot of rounds. But Jeff's southpaw, around my height. Mickey Gall's orthodox, a little bit taller. thankfully Ramez Brahima, he's fighting Court McGee in January, and we predict that's going to be a really grindy, grapply, heavy fight. I mean, watching Court's fight, he's kind of a clinch fight wrestler. So I've been doing like a lot of my like sharp striking work with Jeff, and then a lot of my real gritty grappling work with Ramez. And the welterweight list at Fortis is pretty vast in the UFC, and I don't really have to stray too far away from my training partners there. And then when I'm at home at the end of each week, I have a lot of good guys around Houston I train with at my gym, and I also work a lot with Trevin Giles over at a gym called War, and it's good. He's maybe an inch shorter than Mickey Gall, but he's a real fast, orthodox striker. So I mean, some good looks. I got a lot of good kickboxers at my gym too, and oddly enough, a lot of tall guys. So I mean, I've had an abundance of training partners.
Yeah, a lot of different looks, which is great. And kind of on that note, who's going to be in the cage with you that night? I imagine Coach Safe will be there.
Yeah, my same guys, my striking coach Matt Wald, and then my second in command at the gym, my boy Jake Heffernan. He actually just fought for Fury on Sunday. Man, he lost a decision that we felt should have gone his way. I mean, it was a really competitive fight. It was one of those fights like going to the judges. I talked to him. I was like, "Hey, man, I'm very proud of your performance. You fought like a dog." And I was like, "I hope we win it. If it goes to your opponent, like it was a close fight." And like he just fought as hard as I could have hoped for and did awesome. And he's like my perfect warm-up partner. He's very durable. He's a 45, but he's real strong, and he's real. I can kind of, if I do get a little rough with him, he's cool. So that's my trinity. That's my fight time trio.
And you mentioned it there, the weight cut. Imagine that's all going well ahead of the fight. You just got to avoid a little bit of gravy this time around, right?
Yeah, oddly enough, when I fought Cowboy, my weight cut was real light. With Zawada, it was a little more. And on this one, I did a lot of consistent strength and conditioning, and I've been eating like real clean, but a lot. And I'm actually gonna have to cut more weight for this fight with a full camp than I did my 2 short notice fights. Oddly enough, so I mean, but yeah, it's easy. I'm not a particularly gigantic welterweight. I know that, so the weight cut won't be very hard.
How do you see this fight playing out on December 4th?
Man, I've probably given this answer 30 times now. I know it's a little redundant, but I plan for a 3rd round finish. No, I don't ever like planning on 1st round finishes, because if it doesn't happen, I don't want to be, off my game plan. But I'm always planning for a 3rd round KO. But I see some grappling happen in this fight. I've been super just on point in my jiu-jitsu. I run a Gracie Baja gym up in Houston. We got a really good MMA and kickboxing program, but we got a dynamite jiu-jitsu program. And like even today, I just did a 90-minute grappling session, all no gi, with a wide variety of styles and ranks, and I've just been on point. And again, I could see a submission happening. I could see a TKO on the ground, but man, if it's up to me, I'm getting a knockout on the feet.
Does a win here get you a ranked opponent? Is that kind of what you're thinking? I know you don't worry too much. You're not in a rush, but I think the optics of it, I think, would sort of make sense there.
I mean, yeah, I guess I really don't care. I mean, it's not even that I don't care. Like, a ranked opponent would be cool. I know that's my coach's goal for me. But man, I just want to fight and have some fun fighting, and then get paid to do it. Somebody had just released a big long list of the entire roster. There were way more bantamweights and featherweights than I thought. I thought there were the most 55ers, and I thought there were the second most welterweights. I was wrong. But I read through all 70-something welterweights, and I would fight every single one of those guys. I don't care if the UFC wants to test some of the contender dudes. If they got guys they don't want on the roster and they want to test them against one of the vets, one of the sharks like myself, I'll do that. But man, I don't care. I'm gonna keep my training regimen high and pick up a short notice fight, I hope, after this one too. So again, if that happens, great. If not, great. Just let me scrap, and I want to get paid.
Alex, always a pleasure, man. Go enjoy that Thanksgiving, and we'll be watching you next Saturday, UFC Fight Night. Anyone you want to thank, any sponsors, any social media? I'll give you the last word.
Sure. I mean, Alex Morono MMA on everything. I'm a paranoid kind of homebody training guy. I don't really like to post stuff, but my team, I love my team so much. The guys at Fortis, you guys know it. And then my team at Gracie Baja, the Woodlands MMA back home, even my boys at War, all of Houston MMA. I just love that scene. And I just can't wait to get in there and represent.